What is up, guys? It is Hebrew Hammer, and I am back with more A&R gaming videos. Today we are going to be talking once more again about Afk Arena, and actually this time we're going to do something a little different. We're going to be talking about the level 740 in the campaign specifically. This one is a super common level to hit a hard plateau on for a good couple of days, and you really just kind of have to brute force your way through it and just keep sitting there clicking like an idiot on the repeat button, because it's going to take a while to get through no matter what. That being said, I do have my exact setup here that I just passed it with not too long ago, and I wanted to show you guys just because I feel like for me at least it would have been helpful to find a video really showcasing what character was used, what level, and everything like that. So this, even though you might not have the exact same setup, you can probably get a little bit clearer of an idea as to what you need in order to beat this level. It's unfortunate that it's really hard to do these kinds of level videos because you can't go back and play the level again once you've completed it. As of right now, I would bet good money that this is going to be something that we're going to find possible later on in the future. But as of right now, unfortunately you can't. So technically I'm on 8.1. Instead of 740, but this is still what I used. I haven't upgraded anyone at all. I've been waiting to do this video, so this is what we have. Now I'm going to go through the lineup just a little bit, just to make it a little clearer as to what I was looking for, so maybe you can figure out what things you could replace if you don't have these exact characters. And keep in mind that even with this setup, it was not an easy win. You still had to sit there and you had to grind it out, and by grind it out in this game, I mean you have to sit there, you have to repeat it over and over and over again, and hope that some RNG does go your way. That being said, clearing it with this was a good bit easier than a lot of other versions of character setups that I tried. So, first of all, one thing that you got to think of is your tanks, your front line. It's getting more and more important, I realize, to have a good front line on there. And you should not be afraid to switch positions of characters that are holding the front line. If they are, for instance, dying before they get their ultimate off, maybe try out another character there that can hold that a little bit better and hopefully get his ultimate off. Maybe even switch the positioning. I find myself all the time switching out Lucius to right here in this position, instead of in the front line in particular situations where some other character can hold that line just a little bit better. Maybe if it's even, you know, like for instance, let's get her in here. I have put her in here before because she dashes right over here right from the beginning. It kind of distracts these guys a little bit, and it allows him to have some more time to get that ultimate off. But in this situation that did not work, and let me go ahead and just clear this back to the original setup. So what happened here is that I did switch out Lush for his name is escaping me right now, Brutus. There we go. But I did switch him out for Brutus because I wanted to be able to hold that line just a little bit better. That immunity at the end, right before he dies, just was able to prove a little bit more useful than Lucius without an ultimate. So, and switching Lucius out for someone else that could maybe try to hold the line either dropped my DPS a little too low, or whoever I put up there would just die instantly. So this worked out a good bit, and because of that, originally I did not have Cassis here. I went ahead and had her right there instead, just to kind of hold that line. But once again, we had an issue of she was diving in the back lane. She was dying just a bit too fast, not to mention at this point, his capability, for me at least, because he is Elite Plus as of right now, Cassis is, his top end can go a little bit higher, so it did give me a slight advantage there over the Celestial, which her name escapes me. But so that was able to kind of help me clear it. Now, Saveus, right here, this character, he's really important to have in the mid game. I can't stress it enough. Please level up this character. Find him, level him up to legendary ASAP, because he's going to be holding down the fort for you as much as possible. And Chimera, she is going to be doing, I'm sorry if I'm butchering any of these names, by the way, guys. I always usually call them by their shorthand name. But Shem, for instance, right here, she is able to do a massive amount of DPS, but she really needs to kind of stay alive for a little bit just to at least get that first ult off, and then she can really help sustain herself from there. But in this circumstance, this was able to kind of create the perfect storm to allow maximum survivability for long enough that these two characters were able to really start popping off. And of course, it ended up being this character right here left and this character right here left right at the end, which worked out perfectly because one thing that I love about, I believe his name is Thonar or Thanor, one of the two. But either way, this character right here, he is a fantastic character. I really think he's highly underrated because of his passive, where basically whenever he dies, he ends up kind of going invulnerable for a minute. And a minute is a huge exaggeration, for just a second or two, while he recharges his whole health bar and then comes back for a second life. And he already has some pretty good stats, so he can sustain a good amount of damage. So he's a really good character that I would recommend at least looking at, picking up maybe, and having there, because he's gotten me out of a lot of situations that I probably would have been stuck on a lot longer. So give him a try if you have him and just see how you like him. Let me know in the comments if he works as good for you, if he helped, you know, increase your game, help with some previous levels. I know he was the key for me on a few other ones, so that worked out fairly well. Now, having these two together, you always want to try to make sure that you at least have 3 characters together, just so you get this bonus right here, the attack plus 15% and the HP plus 15%. You can also, because Celestials do count as basically in any one mode, right? You are able to get that still, even though you only have 2 of the Maulers. So you always want to try to find something like that. Only in much more uncommon circumstances can you get away with something without at least that, from my experience, of course. So I think that's something to note. And that's pretty much it for this one. So as I mentioned, this isn't like an easy win. You're still going to have to be sitting there doing the repeat for a decent bit just to have that RNG eventually swing your way. But this is at least something to wrap your mind around, so you know who to bring where and kind of help with positioning a bit. So there we go, guys. There it is. I hope that it helps you guys. Let me know if it helped at all, or if it didn't, or if I'm an idiot, or if I should do things better, or if there is a more ideal situation to kind of help get past this level for other people that are looking for answers. Either way, let me know, and I really appreciate you guys viewing the video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and look at all of our other content. If any of you guys are into Marvel Strike Force, we have my partner in crime over there, Chewburger84. He is a massive whale in that game, and he is a master strategist there. So make sure to check that out. And that's pretty much. Oh, also, sorry, just last plug. We do have a new podcast out on iTunes and Podbean, and pretty much anywhere where you can find podcasts, called Click or Skip, and that is a movie review podcast where we do spoiler and spoiler-free movie reviews and TV show reviews. Check that out if you want to. And that's it for all of my stupid little plugs. I'll be doing probably a tier list video fairly soon, maybe a labyrinth run, something like that, but I am coming back. And once again, I appreciate your guys' support, and I will see you guys next time. Game on.